All right, so here we are. We are dealing with some interesting issues here at My Florida Green with patients. We've got almost 36,000 patients that are on our platform. The state decided to impose some ridiculous emergency ruling. They're calling it emergency ruling. I don't know what the emergency is, but they are restricting the amounts of milligrams that a patient can have access to. And these are cancer patients, Parkinson's patients, ALS patients, patients that have been in the program for 6, almost 7 years now that are used to an amount of milligrams that they're able to use, and now they're restricted. Keeping in mind, though, just about, well, we'll say 80% are unaffected, right, or unaffected, better terminology, but there is that 20%. We're getting patients that are calling us from the front desk of the dispensary, bawling their eyes out, crying, and again, cancer patients, ALS patients, patients with severe debilitating conditions. It's been very disheartening, has it not?
It's been heartbreaking, and I would almost say criminal.
Yeah.
You know, when you have someone who's been in the program for a long time, right? You know, someone that's suffering from, chemo side effects or Parkinson's, all the things that you just mentioned. What happens is they're used to having a certain number of milligrams to relieve their condition. And now you're ripping that from under the rug. Well, no wonder why we're getting people calling in tears.
Yeah.
You know, it's just wrong. At
Yeah.
every level it's wrong. And then not to mention, the state is now overriding the doctor recommendation.
Yeah.
Well, who knows the patient better than the doctor?
Right.
And now the state, who has no clue who these people are, just ripping them out.
Somebody on the state side's practicing medicine and overruling what a doctor's already put in as a recommendation. I don't understand it. I don't. It's very disheartening, and like you said, criminal, and who is responsible. That's what I want to know. I want to know who is responsible, and I want to know why they did it. And there is this law called the Sunshine Law that, is it Sunshine? I think it's Sunshine Law, to where they have to disclose the answers to those questions public, and I think that we need to champion and be in front and represent all patients here in the state of Florida.
You know, not only is that exciting, it's inspiring, because there's a lot of people out there that are behind what we do, but they're afraid to get out in front of it, and there's the stigma involved, which is insane to me. Not a single person's ever died from marijuana.
No one's ever died.
Ever. So why rip this away from patients who are suffering?
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me, and I can't wait till the truth comes out on why they decided to do this and what this emergency is. Emergency from what?
Yeah, emergency ruling. And what's interesting is, in my conspiracy with the whole thing, is that I feel that one of the dispensaries is actually behind setting this up. I'm not going to say any names. I'll let the viewers decide who that is, but they're also sponsoring a massive bill for adult use and recreational use. And look, I'm not opposed to recreational use at all, but what about the patient? We shouldn't decimate the medical program just so everyone 21 and older can access cannabis. What about the stage 4 cancer patient who's 80 years old that's cannabis naive? What about the mom that wants to help their autistic child, right, access cannabis, and they're not going to learn about it anymore because they're going to be educated by a guy, with dreadlocks saying smoke this stuff, it's the dank. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but there needs to be deciphering, or a point to where there's educational, medical, and then recreational. There needs to be we need to be able to both live in the same space.
That's what I think they're failing to recognize. There is room for both of us.
Absolutely.
There's absolute room for both of us, and there is a need, a huge need, especially in the community where those people that are affected and need it for the reasons that we're talking about, they need to get educated.
Yeah.
To go out and just try it blindly, well, that can lead to some not so great things for those. And the thing is they're not going to get the relief that they need properly. But when we educate them and teach them the different ways that you can use that can relieve those conditions from a preventative and from a treatment standpoint, it can be a game changer. We see it every day.
Absolutely.
Literally every single day we see that.
Well, we're very technology driven, right? We created a software called the Doc app. I've been working on it for 6.5 years. We've streamlined every barrier that the state has put in place, starting with the smokable, right? And now ending with the exemption. Patients can request an exemption. All of our doctors that are on the My Florida Green platform are not afraid to put the exemption in for the patients who are requesting it, because we do it by the law and by the book in full compliance with state law. So there is hope there. So I definitely don't want patients that are watching this to be extremely frustrated, other than the fact that somebody or some group is responsible for imposing this emergency ruling. And I think it's time that we bring those people to justice and expose them. What do you think?
I'm looking forward to getting to the bottom of it, and I'll be right alongside you the whole time.
Awesome. Well, it's been an honor to work with you, Chad, and I think it's time that the justice is served on behalf of the 36,000 patients that we represent and the 800 and some odd thousand here in the state of Florida, because we are talking about a plant that's never killed anyone in history, and the medicinal benefits are undeniable, and we have the data to show it. So here we go.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right.